so we've got these two 5/8 inch coil spacers here that I'm going to be installing today. The reason for this is to account for the droop that I measured when I installed the winch. So I measured the height before and after, and it came out to about 5/8 of an inch. So this is just to level out the front, bring it back up, so there's just two spacers for the front, and that's what we're going to do. So first thing is, while we have everything on the ground, I'm gonna start on the driver's side. I'm gonna loosen all these lugs, and then I'm gonna support the frame on the jack, and I'm gonna remove the shock and the sway bar, or anti-sway bar, whatever. So jack stand under the frame, jack it up under the axle. Now we're gonna slowly remove this. Oh, that was a little fast. It's because I did it one-handed, but whatever. A slight change of plans. So I'm actually gonna use spring compressors. I went to AutoZone and just got these on loan for free. The best advice I have for using these coil springs is, so I start with the axle down, so the spring is extended, and I put them on pretty much as wide as I can go, trying to get on opposite sides. Trying with the operating end, the end that you twist on top. And then what I'm gonna do is slowly jack it up. And so, like, as I jack it up a little, I tighten it. As I jack it up a little, I tighten it. And keep doing that until you get it as tight as possible. And then obviously lower it back down, jack up the other side, and try and pull the spring out. See, I got my springs compressed, and you can already see I'm getting some lift at the bottom there, and I haven't even jacked up the other side yet. So it's pretty good. So two things I'd recommend. One is having an open-ended 3/4 inch crescent wrench. This one even ratchets because it gets pretty hard to access these as you compress the spring. As you can see, there's not enough space right here. I can't get a socket on. And also just having an impact gun or an air wrench would be a huge help rather than doing this by hand. But yeah, so now I'm going to jack up the other side. Should be able to pull this out. We got one spring out. It's a little harder to get out on the passenger side just because of the steering stabilizer in the way. But so while you're working on the rest of it, I'd recommend putting this far away, because this thing is basically like a bomb right now. If one of those things lets go, I'm just gonna leave it back here while I do the rest. So now we just gotta get this bump stop out. You kind of just pull and twist and wiggle it out. Then this cup is held in with a 5/8 bolt right there. Pull that out. Then if we get a hammer and chisel, we can pry out this like rubber bushing right here, get that out. And then we put in our coil spacer, then the old one, and then we put this and the bolt back in, and then this back in. The tricky part is getting the bump stop back in. I ended up putting a piece of wood there and jacking it up and kind of pressing it into place. It's tricky, but it worked.